Alright, guys, hello. Uh, I was just talking with Nelson and Zeta about Razzle's D13 map and how it's like very early in its visual development stage, but Razzle is kind of a cool guy. He has a lot of experience in building in Minecraft, and it's definitely like the detailing really shows. Like, you know, it's like same sort of like yellow, and the transition from yellow to green here. It's like the blue goes really well with the like light yellowish color here, and then like transition from this to here, and then also from the gray to gray to gray to blue, from blue to yellow, and then from yellow to green and to green, and it all like green goes to gray. So it's really nice. Like this set piece like looks really nice just because of the colors, you know. All right, let's start with the feedback. Okay, so I did not upload a DE13 playtest. I got kind of pissed, and we had two other people recording anyway. So I was like, what the fuck. Also, a nice reflection on the puddle. Okay, so the issue with the issue that I have with DE13 is definitely like you have really great angles. The angle planning is awesome. I just think that we don't get that much chance as a T when you're pushing out. You don't get that much chance to fight against those angles in peace, if you know what I mean. It's very rich. It's like fried with like awesome angles, and that's what makes it like annoying to play at times. So you have to, as a T, you have to be really mindful of like smoking this up very early, and even if you smoke it like deep, then there still can be someone playing like here, and even then, like, you know, they can still play around this. So all the things that you have to do as a T to gain like some level of map control, they are based on terrorists having to expose themselves to a very strong CT angle and then fight that angle or smoke it up, which one exposes themselves and wastes utility. There is not like a T. Well, the T window here is probably the most T favored like angle, but I don't feel like I'm that like covered when I'm peeking these. You know, you have to have a T peeking here, and then a T peeking like here, and at any point they can be in the squeaky, the CTs, and then even then, like if the CT, which happened quite a lot, I did this on CT side almost every round. The CTs don't have to peek the window. They can literally, they have the timing to throw a molly like that, and the CTs can smoke up this, and now they have like this pocket here to watch this. And how this works, how the dynamic works, is that T's will not be here on this ramp by the time CTs get like here. So the CTs don't have to worry about this. There's quite a lot that the T's have to do. They have to expose themselves to here, and they have to expose themselves to the squeaky to drop down here into this area. Which, yeah, it is T controlled, this area. But then again, like you have to be aggressive as a T, creep up this, which you can't really do in P's. And when you peek this, and remember, there's always the expectation that there could be someone in squeaky. There could be someone playing like behind taxi or somehow. They can have a headshot angle against you there, and they have a deep angle here that they can utilize. So it's like when everything is happening, there is so much to consider as a T when you're pushing up here. And also there's this nice headshot angle here, which is super strong. So yeah. If there's anything to take away from that piece of feedback, that it's like it's awesome. I love the angles, but there's just too much of it. And I think where this map goes like not so standard is at the amount of the angles. Like it's cool, and also at the fact that there's not that much T controlled area. Like what is T controlled here in this map? Pretty much like Not even this sideline necessarily, which I think should be T controlled. This sideline should be super powerful for T's. And this pillar gets in the way, so that kind of ruins this fight as well. Like you have to have a sniper here, and even then this angle is like kind of fucked. Apps are T controlled. Chubby is T controlled. This is T controlled. This is this wall. That back pocket. Apps. This room is T controlled, and here this is T controlled pretty much. So, and everything else is CT controlled. So I think from control side of things, the map strikes a balance in the way that the ground is covered, but what is not like given in the terms are sidelines. And I'm not saying sidelines in the terms of like the sidelines are terrible and not powerful for T's, but I'm saying that the sidelines are not like viable for T's when CTs get the time to smoke them. If the T's would get here, would get like this sort of a like sideline before the CTs peak this, then that would be viable, and then T's would have the sideline over this area, but CTs would have the control over the ground. And I think that balance has to be struck somehow. So here in this mid, CTs get the sideline and they get the ground. And I think one other map that does it is like is Cache, where you can like literally smoke up the T entrance to the middle. But what Cache does, it gives a counter to the CT angles with the boost. And you would think that these are like the counters to the boost, but the utility that the fence gives, it's not always that good. And remember, after the initial mid peak, you still have to like push con, take hell, clear heaven, clear CT. I think it's not like realistic to contest this as T that much. Or if you want just to take mid, you have to use so much of your util. You have to land a perfect smoke there. Have to smoke hell. Have to have some sort of a CT smoke, since there was usually a player rotating between Among and then top mid, like just literally doing this. That's kind of what you want to do. So yeah, it is I might be like just like pulling shit out of my ass right now, but I feel that the map is like kind of flawed in the way that like there's something off with how much the T's get and how much the CTs get, and there's something off in the terms of terrorist positioning to hold and CT positioning to push, and I can't really put my finger on it. But I think it has to do with how passive / aggressive these terrorist points of pushing are, if you know what I mean. It's a really hard map to break down. Oh, and the fact that the CT is like, they can smoke this up. Like that's the perfect smoke. But then they have quite a lot to... Like, CTs can clear this area very easily. They cannot clear this very easily, but they can pretty much get the information of player movement in these areas, which makes it hard for T's to like maneuver late round. So the map is like, it's awesome for the first like couple, like 20 seconds in the round, but after that, like, you know, just going back and maneuvering, it's like really hard. And hell, I'd say that hell is probably the most annoying part on the map to clear as a T when you're like coming from top mid. Like here, it's just kind of messy, and you don't really get that much. You get much, but then again, you have another fight here. You have the whole CT to clear back here, and there could be like some idiot holding like back here. It's just really messy part to push through, and it's not necessarily encouraging to take that sort of a thing under your list of things to do mid round. Also, bomb site B. Let's touch upon that a little bit, which is A right now. Classic situation with the bomb site names. This was smoked. That needs to be smoked. I like that there's no more headshot angle here with the, like, when it comes to main. But some sort of a way. There used to be like a little Tetris thing here. I think the T's need some sort of a, like, Tetris thing to contest these upper areas. Like, there's literally one angle to peek, even at this point. And the angle between like here and here, it's such a similar angle. It's open to everything. So if there was like one box here, and I'm just using the box thing as like, you know, a rough thing, but like something here to divide this peak and this peak from each other, so that this heaven area would be like, you would have to watch two angles at once, and you have like this long angle back here, the uncertainty of someone being in the heaven, which makes it like really dangerous to play. The uncertainty, or like then the fucking, like, the connector thing. There's just not enough for T's to like play, and it's fine for keeping this as barren as it is, but then T's have to get something after they push into the bomb site. There could be something in here, like you could add a box here that would be tilted in the way that it's like easy to get to as a T, and then you can play from here, like kind of a T quad thing, if you know what I mean. Early round, if you're not really that sure if someone's playing there, fuck, you could quite easily clear it like that, and then wait for the smoke here to fade, and then push, you know, so that it would be kind of ensured that that would be T controlled. But yeah, the bomb site has never really worked, and even now there are like dumb headshot angles all around against the heavens, so it's really annoying to retake. But where these headshot angles fall down for flat on their head is the fact that like it's very, like, this is very open to there. It's not that nice to play around. So yeah, I just think that T's need something to progress from, like progress to from here. Someone's messaging me. I'm sorry. And yeah, I think that's also true with B bomb site. Like, this is not that good enough of a position to play behind, and the gameplay on the bomb site literally just boils down to smoke the plant, get the bomb down. So yeah, I hope that this feedback was worth something. I know it was like really rambling. We just finished the playtest, and I'm kind of tired, but yeah, I hope that could be of use somewhat. But yeah, this map, man, it's a really hard nut to crack. And these text things, it's like, for Counter-Strike, it's like too long, didn't read thing, and they are a continuous source of ridicule against the map. Try smoking off the gap between taxi and the box with the tree to push cat. Yeah, see, like, yeah, of course you can do that. Like, that's just like making fun of the player a little bit. It's like, oh, you idiot, don't you know what to do? Yeah, you can do that, but then again, now you're giving CT something to play with again as well. It's like that's not really going to help the CT issue, T issue of CTs mulling you out. Now you have now you've wasted a smoke there, and now you have to call your teammate like, oh, someone call this, smoke this, and then when your stupid ass teammate gets here, they'll be like, oh, what the fuck, and they'll throw the worst smoke ever, and they are asked to leave, and it's like, you know, it's not good. You can always design a map around smoke grenades, But the map should be playable without utility as well. You know? The core gameplay of peeking angles, tapping heads, that should be always like the most fun thing to do. And that should be always doable without any util. I know Counter-Strike has evolved to the point that like utility is your second most powerful thing to play with. And that clearly like separates like the seeds from the chaff. The good players from the bad, the utility usage and aim, but yeah, most importantly utility usage, and that really breaks games. But just having, I'm sorry, who the fuck is messaging me so much? Oh, it's Razzle. What's up, Razzle, the map maker? Yeah, I think that's just taking too much from the game, from the core gameplay experience. But yeah, God, Jesus fuck. Okay, Razzle needs this video apparently, and yeah. I think that's it. Take care, guys.